Creating engaging and valuable content in our industry is essential for building trust with clients and standing out from the competition. You also want to use content to get new clients. You want them to notice you online. So whether you're just getting started or you're a seasoned business professional, today's episode will empower you to get the most mileage from your content marketing efforts. And to do this, I welcome a frequent guest and friend, Dean Mercado, a business coach who's here to help everyone get more work. Dean, welcome to the program.
Excellent, Jeff. Thank you. I'm so glad to be with you again.
Hey, Dean, I want to point something out. I noticed that you like top 10 topics.
Sure, absolutely. They're easier to digest.
Take it away. What are they?
Sure. Now, I'm going to preface this a couple of ways. I'm going to preface this by saying that there's really only three reasons for marketing, right? And one is to increase your visibility amongst those who know you. One's to increase your credibility, and one's to increase your reach. And whenever we create content, we should be very focused on which one or ones of those that the content we're creating is affecting at any given time, right? And maybe that's a conversation for another day to go deeper there. But a lot of what you're going to hear here today really does affect all of those, but it's going to have a lot to do with your credibility, which is critically important to building your brand, putting your best foot forward, your best face forward to your audience, so that you're being seen in the way that you want to be seen. Now, the problem that we bumped into in recent years is all of these algorithm updates with Google. We've also bumped into something called AI, which is making it so easy to create content at will. More content, more content, more content. And a lot of the stuff being created by a lot of us out there, and I'm calling all of you out, is garbage. It's not really adding a lot of value to this thing called the internet that's really overcrowded and oversaturated at this point, at least for the types of search that we have available to us today. So if we truly want to do our audience a service and we truly want to do ourselves a service, we have to make sure that we're honing in on what's important, what's going to move the needle for our business and for our audience, right? So let's start with number 10, right? Number 10. And that's going to be flat out blog post content, just solid blog content. If you're not running a blog on your website, you're missing a huge opportunity. The search engines will likely index your blog material even before they index your page material. You want people to go to your page that says, for your cleaning service. Well, they're likely to get to it by going through a blog post first, because the way the Googles of the world think these days is the blog content is usually aimed at content that's more valuable. It solves a problem for a particular audience member. Now, if somebody is specifically looking for a house cleaning service near me, a little different, right? Then Google might drive them directly to your service page. But for the most part, your blog pages will outperform other things. So that's all I really wanted to say on that one. Now, another one I really like a lot, number nine, as we count down here, has more to do with live Q&As and webinars. And I know this is going to throw a lot of you out of your comfort zone. A lot of you. Now, notice this is number 9. This isn't the most impactful one in my mind, but it is impactful. If you can get your audience to tune into you on a regular basis, talk about credibility builder, right? It's going to make you look like the only obvious choice when somebody's looking for what you do. And you could get on a quick little video. You could do a live on Facebook, a live on Instagram, a live anywhere, LinkedIn, and just hit your audience with something. And you never know who's listening. And sometimes those videos tend to have legs. So live Q&As or webinars. Number 8, educational infographics. Infographics are still here. They're still valuable. They tend to be indexed pretty well in the search engines, and your audience likes them. It's really that simple. Now, an infographic doesn't have to be anything complicated, like 400 pages long. It doesn't need to be anything like that. Something that solves a problem, walk people down a path, right? Associate that knowledge and wisdom with your brand It's only going to help. I don't care if you're selling a new line of mops or if you're selling cleaning services for any kind of business, right? Commercial cleaning. Irrelevant. Educate them in a way people want to be educated. People like to watch, people like to see. We're very visual by nature. That's why these last couple of items really, really resonate. Number 7 on our list, as we count down, here's one that I feel most do not take advantage of, period. I don't know why. It is where things are at. Interactive quizzes. Interactive quizzes. And I'll add to that polls, right? Interact with your audience. Our intention is to educate, entertain, and engage. The 3 big E's. So if we're using these interactive polls and quizzes, everybody loves to know where they stand. How dirty is your break room, right? And you have a quiz around that. You'd be surprised how many people will participate, and it's a real lead generator. It's a lead generator. So using that could be extremely powerful and separate you from everybody else, right? Number 6, behind the scenes content. Let me see what's going on inside your company. Let me see what's going on in between the walls there. Let me know that you're real. Let me know that you're a kind of a company that I would want to associate with. I want to see, right? Again, we're very visual. I want to see what's going on. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to let people into your world. I know a lot of the cleaning companies that hang around the ISSA, and a lot of them are pretty powerful companies. Don't be afraid. You stack up against anybody, anywhere. Think about that. So let them see. I think you'll do yourself a real service in that one. Number 5, I would say, and this is, we're coming into the holiday season in a big way, seasonal content. Seasonal content. For you residential cleaning folks out there, spring cleaning checklist, right? Very simple piece of content that you want to put out there. Right? If you can associate what you do with any of the seasons, transitions that are going on in people's lives, they're going to relate to it. And they're going to look at it and say, okay, yeah, this is good. This spring cleaning checklist looks really good, but you know what? I really don't have the time to do it. Maybe I could just hire them to do this. Right? So in a way, you're training your audience how to behave. And that's very important when it comes to marketing and sales, right? So now we're getting down into the 4 here. So number 4, customer testimonials and success stories. Now, as a purchaser of the services that you offer, at some point, I become numb to everybody saying the same exact thing. This is who I am. This is what I do. And this is why I'm so much better than everybody. I don't care what you say about yourself. I care what your audience says about you. That's what I care about. I want to know what others who've used you have to say about you. It's really that simple, because we want to know that others, we want to know how they're perceiving you, because we don't want to be that outlier that is making a decision like that, and then, oh, we made a bad decision, and then have somebody second guess our decision and say, well, did you check them out? Did you look at reviews? Did you do this? No, I didn't. So the more you focus on those customer testimonials, and it doesn't only have to just be a review on Google. Think beyond that. How could you use these testimonials? Are you using them in your email marketing? Are you using them in your social media marketing? Where are you using all of this stuff? Use the content. Are you using different formats for those testimonials, like video? Try different things on, right? Very, very powerful. Number 3, something some of you may be familiar with, but you probably don't use it very well. How-to guides. How-to guides. Yeah, I know. We don't want to, sometimes we think that, well, we're over-educating them. They're not going to need us if we tell them exactly how to do it. I'm telling you from experience. I'm the guy who hires you. Right? I'm the guy who buys your services. I just want to know that you know how to do it. You know, so by you telling me how to do it, that's all you're doing for me, is you're justifying for me that I would be making a good decision if I chose you. Right? And again, it allows me to climb into your expertise. It allows me to perceive you as the only obvious expert in the room, right? So when I'm looking for a way to differentiate you, because I want to know that the choice I'm about to make is the best one. So that's what the how-to content is going to be for me. So again, look at how you're distributing that content. You creating a blog post that's a how-to and just throwing it on your website, and that's that, not going to cut it. How are you letting people know that that piece of content is available? We do a podcast here. Jeff doesn't just throw it on the shelf and leave it there. Jeff makes sure he tells people about it. And he has multiple channels that he does that on. That's what you need to be doing. You need to have a strategy on how you're rolling all of this stuff out. So the how-tos are still very valid because the search engines also want to see you as the expert. That's the content they're going to showcase, are the experts, right? Who they perceive are the experts, right? And they're perceiving it by what others say about you. So if others say you're an expert, Google's looking at it and saying, yeah, they probably are. And they're going to rank you better, right? So this all ties together. Search engine optimization, it all ties together. How your clients respond to you, right? How you convert, your conversion strategies. Number two, as we're getting down into the nitty gritty, we love what I call transformation. We love to see how something was and how it is now. Before, after. If you can show me a lot of before and after, that gives me the ability to visualize what may happen for me, the transformation that I may undergo, right? The transformation that I'm looking for, right? The befores and after, right? I'll look at a space like my office, let's say, and let's say you did a before of my office and maybe it was messy, right? And then you showed me some pictures of what you were able to do to other people's offices and they were amazing. Yeah, I'm probably going to say, you know what? Let's do it. Come on in, make this place happen for me, right? Because I don't like it the way it looks, that kind of thing. So before and after content. Number one, I know you've been waiting for this one. Number one, and this one ties into a lot of different areas, very, very underutilized in my opinion, although some of you are starting to use it. We call them FAQs, frequently asked questions. You should be creating content galore, answering every possible question you get asked over and over and over again by your audience, right? Answer their questions. If you even look at what people are Googling these days, look at how Google shows the results. They're showing the results in sections like people also ask, and there'll be a list of questions there. And then and when you click the little down arrow, it'll show you the answers, and those answers will go to people's websites, right? If they want to get more, they'll read the little blurb and they click through. So things, when you do FAQs on your website, the search engines are loving it big time. You could take that content of FAQs and turn that into a series in social media, answer people's questions before they even ask them, and you're golden. Again, it's an area that a lot of us say, well, I have FAQs on my whatever FAQ page. No, I put FAQs everywhere. There are FAQs on every single page of my site. There's always a question that somebody may have based on where they are in their journey with me. So I'm making sure that I'm looking at every single spot somebody is in that journey with me, and I'm looking to answer those questions before they ask them. How do you think that's going to make them feel? It's going to make them feel like I know them, and it's going to make them comfortable with me. So these are just 10 ideas. You don't need to execute all 10 of these ideas. I would challenge you, if you execute 2 to 3 of them excellently, with precision, with intention, I think your result is going to be pretty pleasant, because the rest of the stuff that's competing with you out there, a lot of it is junk. It's clutter. It's garbage. Don't be that person putting more junk clutter. And I know AI really makes that exciting and enticing for us, right? But remember, we're in an age right now of the internet that people want to be edutained. Education plus entertainment. You merge those 2 words together, you get edutainment, right? And I would add to that engagement. People want to engage, right? You want them to engage your brand, your team, right? If they start engaging with you, much easier to sell, much easier. It's a lot less painful, especially if you're dealing B2B in a big way. You've got to make sure you're edutaining people, right? So, Jeff, I hope these were helpful ideas. And I know a lot of people out there can say, I know this. Bull crap. That's what I call on that. I call bull. And the reason I do is because I don't care how much you think you know. Are you doing it? Are you implementing? If you are, bravo. Bravo.
Yes. People do know what these mean. When
Yes.
each one that you said, I wrote them down, from blog post content to FAQs as number one. People know what they are, but you're right, they don't do them. And that's the whole key: implementation.
That's right. That's right.
And did you create a new word? Was it edutainment?
Edutainment, yes.
I love it.
So it's kind of like the concatenation of education and entertainment.
So
yeah.
In reality, you're 100% right, because we're all people, we're all consumers. We may own the best business in the world, but we're still people looking for entertainment and education. And there's no better way to learn than to laugh about something.
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah. And again, I challenge everybody out there, because it doesn't matter what you think you know. It matters what is so. Mm-hmm. That's really the bottom line. So if you have a content marketing plan, a strategy and a plan for your company, chances are you're going to do a lot better than your competitors out there. If you really want to take advantage of these newer technologies like AI, you better have a strategy and a plan. Know what kind of content to create, right? You can very easily go to a ChatGPT and ask it and say, first thing you do is you tell it a little bit about your brand and who you serve, right? And you say, hey, I'm looking to edutain my clients, right? To my audience, right? What are 10 great pieces of content I can create this month, right? And recommend platforms for me too, that I should put these on. Mm-hmm. That would best position me in front of my target market. You never know what, and I know, Jeff, you play hard with AI, so you get where I'm going with that. It's like, this is how you start really leveraging this stuff. Very powerful.
I use AI for many things. Ideas. It's now my thesaurus, my dictionary. It's my search engine. So I would love to just use it to write all my articles, but that's not going to work. But people do that. And I think Google and all the search engines are going to figure out what's real and what's not. Yet to be seen, some of this. But I have a couple extra questions for you.
Please, shoot.
So when you started your conversation, you talked about people were just making content, putting out content. I remember back in the day with the websites,
right?
There was keyword stuffing. There was put all the cities you service on every page at the bottom, stuff it full of content. And then we'd get these invitations about link sharing. You post my link, I'll post yours.
Right.
Those days are gone. Are you saying that?
Long gone.
Long gone.
Long gone. I mean, the algorithms the search engine algorithms are always being adjusted. And sometimes things fall through the cracks. Sometimes you get away with some things. But you know what? They're pretty darn smart these days. Mm-hmm. And, think about your audience first too. If I land on your service page and it's spamming all kinds, it keeps repeating the same keyword phrase over and over again, and it lists all 975 zip codes that you happen to service on that. Come on, really? Just work on your Google My Business listing and make sure you tell it your territory and the story.
Well, what you're talking about is whatever you put out there, whether it's on your website, your social media posts, make it a real conversation, a real content that matters, that reads like a narrative.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Because that's what your audience is going to see, and you will be judged on that. And if you want the best shot at landing that business, I always say, when it comes to content, focus on the fewer better. The fewer better. Fewer pieces of content, but better pieces of content. Mm-hmm. You don't need to post all day long every single day. That's just clutter, right? But if you give me that one piece of valuable content, even if it's just one a week, I'd be much happier with that, right? And the bottom line is, I don't care how many followers you have on this channel or friends you have. It makes no difference to me. How are you converting? Are these things converting into real, genuine leads that are converting into sales? If they're not, we've got a problem, right? And that's what we're talking about here.
Well said.
Yeah.
My last question, we're about out of time, but it's this. You mentioned 10 things.
Right.
For your typical cleaning service or any service business, I suppose, in-home service. If you were to, and you mentioned you could just pick a couple and do them.
Yeah.
What are your favorite three? If you were to start a cleaning business today, Dean, what three would you do first?
Ooh, I mean, FAQs definitely, because FAQs are going to give you a tremendous amount of bang for the buck in the search engines. It's also going to, if you use it properly and you distribute those FAQs through email marketing with your prospects, through social media channels, you can get a lot of bang out of just answering somebody's questions very succinctly, clearly, right? And you get a lot of bang there. Another one I really, really love, I would say I want to hear success stories. I want to know what's going on. You know, I want social proof that if I hire you, I have a good shot, you know, because I see myself kind of similar to that business over there, that I'm going to have a good shot at maybe also having the same result. And I think that's really, really important. Now,
just one more.
Yeah, I mean, before and after is good. How to is good. Seasonal, you're coming into that now, but
Dean can't pick another one. He's stuck.
You know, give me something different. Give me the interactive polls. Give me the interactive quizzes. That is different, right? Everyone you know is producing how-to content, right? You all know a lot of people. Just walk around, come to the event in Vegas in November and ask everybody, they're all doing how-to content, right? What can you do that's going to make you stand out from everybody else? So I would go there. I would probably go to the quizzes and polls.
Quizzes and polls. Let me find that.
So that's
here.
FAQs. Then it was.
No, I got it. I got it. So stories. You have FAQs, testimonials or success stories, and interactive quizzes and polls.
That's right. Because people want to know. They want to know, number one, that you're different. They want to know that you're better. They want to know that you know what you're doing, right? But they want the social proof. They want to hear somebody else say it.
Yeah. And you know why you chose those, Dean?
Why?
Because it fits you.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe.
I mean, as a business owner,
great point.
It has to fit your style, what you want to do.
Right.
Because if you don't want to do it, odds are.
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah. So it you know, to that point, and that's a great point, Jeff. You really have to pick and choose what fits you. What do you have the wherewithal to do? But keep in mind what differentiates you, what edutains your audience in the way that they want to be edutained. But no matter what content you create, it's about how you deliver it that makes the difference. It's all about the channels you're choosing, right? And how you're delivering it on those channels. So if you're going to use email marketing, you better become great at writing email, right? Because people get so much email these days, it's clutter. Same with you're going to post on Instagram or Facebook, same thing. It's clutter, right? And very short shelf life. And you have to recognize that. So going after things, and it is a combination of all these that fit you and fit your audience are key.
Yeah. And you didn't talk about, you just mentioned emails. You didn't get into that. You didn't get into videos or podcasts. We're doing a video right now.
Yeah.
But there's so many more than your top 10. I guess we need a top 20.
Oh, we can go on and on and on and on. But recognize that these are the types of content, not the delivery mechanism so much. So not like I could take a how-to article and I could put it on a blog. I could put it on a podcast. I could put it on an email marketing series. I could distribute it in a number of different ways. It's just the kind of content. That's why I was saying with FAQs, I love those because I could create an automated series in my CRM to distribute those FAQs one every other week, right? And just deliver that to my audience. And at some point, I'm going to hit that nerve with my audience and they can say, that's the problem. We got that same problem. I have that same thing going on here. Let's see how they solve it. That's how the game is played. So So the types of content, and then there's those delivery mechanisms, right? So making sure you understand that all of these can be used in a variety of different ways, right? And that's why I said you only really need 2 to 3 of them and you're good, you
Yeah.
know?
Well, and of course, big company successful or forward thinking might do more, but you have to have the
Yeah,
people to do it. You have to have
absolutely.
the muscle behind it. So, well, Dean, this was
Absolutely.
good. Yeah. We got our top 10. Hopefully everyone watching will do at least their favorite 3 and make it work.
Yeah. And when Jeff posts these, folks, put in the comments. Let us know which ones you're using. What's working for you? Now, keep in mind also, these come from 20 years of coaching people in your industry. So I've seen what works, I've seen what doesn't work. And that's why there's this top 10 list, right? I could have used a lot of other things that I do for myself personally, but it may not work for you, as Jeff was alluding to before, you know? So take that for what it's worth, and good luck, but differentiate, go get them, edutain.
Good points. Thank you, Dean.